Welcome to the channel, you lot. Today, we're diving headfirst into a dish that's got some of you turning white as a sheet. Frog meat. Yeah, you heard me right. Those slimy little critters some of you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole are actually a delicacy in many parts of the world. We're going to get down and dirty, dissecting what frog meat is really all about. We'll expose its nutritional value, examine the so-called health benefits, and of course uncover the risks involved. So buckle up and get ready to learn if frog legs are a culinary leap of faith or a recipe for disaster. All right, you bunch of culinary cowards, let's get one thing straight. Frog meat isn't some bizarre alien food. It's been consumed for centuries, particularly in parts of Asia, where it's considered a damn good source of protein. And for good reason. 100 grams of this green goodness packs a whopping 20 grams of protein, which is essential for building and repairing those muscles you pretend to have. Now, before you start picturing bulging biceps after a plate of frog legs, let's talk fat content. We're looking at a measly 0.3 grams of fat per 100 grams, making it leaner than a marathon runner. But don't think for a minute that this means it's lacking in flavor. Frog meat is also swimming in essential vitamins and minerals. We're talking about potassium, which helps keep your ticker ticking, vitamin B12 for energy that doesn't quit, and even a healthy dose of phosphorus for strong bones. So while you're busy scoffing down your greasy burgers, remember those frog legs are practically health food in comparison. But hold your horses before you start ordering frog legs by the bucket load. Like any ingredient, moderation is key. Too much of a good thing can quickly turn into a recipe for disaster. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of potential risks later, but for now, just appreciate the nutritional powerhouse that is frog meat. It's not all sunshine and roses though. Frog meat does have a slightly higher cholesterol content than some other protein sources. We're talking about 50 to 70 milligrams per 100 grams. So if you're watching your cholesterol like a hawk, you might want to indulge in moderation. But let's not forget the taste, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? Frog legs are often described as having a delicate, slightly sweet flavor, reminiscent of chicken or fish. They're incredibly versatile and can be grilled, fried, sautéed, or even baked. So there you have it, the nutritional lowdown on frog legs. They're a surprisingly good source of protein, low in fat, and packed with essential vitamins and minerals. Just remember, moderation is key, and always source your ingredients from reputable suppliers. Now stop whining and get cooking. Now let's dive deeper into these so-called health benefits of frog legs. Some folks claim they're practically a miracle food, but let's separate the facts from the fiction, shall we? First up, the high protein content. We've already established that frog meat is packed with the good stuff, which is essential for building and repairing tissues. This makes it a great option for athletes or anyone looking to increase their protein intake without piling on the pounds. And speaking of pounds, the low-fat content in frog legs makes it a dieter's dream. You can enjoy a flavorful, satisfying meal without worrying about blowing your calorie budget. Just try not to drown it in butter and oil, yeah? Some studies suggest that frog meat can also be beneficial for bone health. It's a good source of calcium and phosphorus, both of which are crucial for maintaining strong, healthy bones. So, if you're worried about osteoporosis, adding some frog legs to your diet might not be a bad idea. But wait, there's more. Frog meat is also said to improve cardiovascular health. The low fat and cholesterol content combined with the presence of potassium can help regulate blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease. And if that wasn't enough, some cultures believe that frog meat can boost immunity. While more research is needed in this area, it's thought that the vitamins and minerals in frog meat can help strengthen the immune system and protect against infections. Now, before you go crowning frog legs as the next superfood, remember that these health benefits are based on moderate consumption. Overdoing it can lead to problems, which we'll discuss in the next chapter. But for now, let's appreciate the potential health benefits that these little amphibians have to offer. Chapter 3. Frog legs. When indulgence turns into a health hazard. Listen up, you lot. Just because something's natural doesn't mean it's harmless. Eating frog legs comes with its own set of risks, and ignoring them is like walking into the kitchen blindfolded, a recipe for disaster. First on the chopping block, parasitic infections. Frogs, especially those caught in the wild, can harbour nasty parasites that can wreak havoc on your insides. We're talking about abdominal pain, diarrhea, vomiting, not exactly the kind of culinary experience you want, right? Next up, cholesterol. While frog meat is relatively low in fat, it does contain cholesterol. Now, I'm not saying a plate of frog legs will instantly clog your arteries, but if you're already battling high cholesterol, it's best to enjoy this delicacy in moderation. And let's not forget about allergies. Shellfish allergies are fairly common, and guess what? Frogs are amphibians, which share some similarities with our crustacean friends. So, if you're prone to seafood allergies, approaching frog legs with caution is probably a good idea. Then there's the issue of environmental toxins. Frogs, being amphibians, are particularly susceptible to absorbing pollutants from their surroundings. This means that frog meat, especially from polluted areas, can contain heavy metals and other toxins that can be harmful to human health. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room: food poisoning. Like any other meat, frog legs need to be handled and cooked properly to eliminate harmful bacteria. Undercooked frog legs are a one-way ticket to food poisoningville. And trust me, you don't want to go there. The bottom line is this: enjoying frog legs safely requires careful sourcing, proper handling, and thorough cooking. Don't be a donkey and ruin your dinner and potentially your health by taking unnecessary risks. Chapter 4. Frog legs, a vegetarian's nightmare. Now, for all you herbivores out there, let's address the elephant in the room. Frog legs are not vegetarian. I know, shocking, right? Those little green creatures hopping around are in fact animals. So if you're committed to a plant-based lifestyle, frog legs are definitely off the menu. But don't despair. There are plenty of delicious and nutritious vegetarian protein sources out there that won't have you gnawing on a lily pad. Beans, lentils and chickpeas are all fantastic sources of plant-based protein and fibre. They're incredibly versatile and can be used in everything from soups and stews to salads and dips. Soybeans are another great option. They're a complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids that our bodies need. Tofu, tempeh and edamame are all delicious and versatile soy-based products that can easily be incorporated into a vegetarian diet. And let's not forget about nuts and seeds. They're packed with protein, healthy fats and fibre, making them a satisfying and nutritious snack or addition to meals. So, while frog legs might be off limits for vegetarians, there's a whole world of plant-based protein sources out there waiting to be explored. Don't be afraid to get creative in the kitchen and experiment with different ingredients to find what you like best. Chapter 5. Frog legs, expert advice for a safe and delicious experience. Listen up, you lot. Eating frog legs isn't like grabbing a burger. It requires a bit of finesse, a touch of knowledge, and a whole lot of common sense. So, consider this your crash course in enjoying frog legs without ending up in the emergency room. First and foremost, sourcing. Don't be tempted by those dodgy street vendors selling questionable meat skewers. Source your frog legs from reputable suppliers who prioritize hygiene and ethical sourcing practices. Next up, preparation. Give those frog legs a good rinse under cold water before cooking. And for God's sake, don't even think about using the same chopping board for your frog legs and your salad. Cross-contamination is a one-way ticket to food poisoning city. Now let's talk cooking. Frog legs are best cooked thoroughly to eliminate any potential bacteria or parasites. Whether you're grilling, frying or sautéing, make sure the internal temperature reaches a safe 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius. And for crying out loud, don't serve those frog legs rare or undercooked. I don't care if you think it's trendy, it's a recipe for disaster. Overcooked is always better than undercooked when it comes to frog legs. Flavor-wise, frog legs are like a blank canvas. They readily absorb the flavors of whatever you cook them with, so get creative with your marinades and sauces. Garlic, ginger, chili, herbs, the possibilities are endless. And finally, presentation. Don't just slop those frog legs on a plate like a pile of mush. Take some pride in your culinary creation. Arrange them nicely, garnish with fresh herbs, and serve with a side of your choice. Remember, enjoying frog legs is all about balance. Balance in sourcing, balance in preparation, balance in cooking, and balance in flavor. Get it right, and you're in for a culinary treat. Get it wrong, and well, let's just say you'll be wishing you'd stuck with chicken. Outro, frog legs, leap of faith, or recipe for disaster. So there you have it, you bunch of culinary daredevils. We've dissected the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of frog legs. Whether they're a culinary leap of faith or a recipe for disaster is entirely up to you. If you found this culinary adventure even remotely helpful, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more brutally honest food explorations. And while you're at it, let me know in the comments if you've ever dared to try frog legs and whether you live to tell the tale. Until next time, keep those taste buds adventurous, but for God's sake, be careful out there.